Hello there, and welcome to another Sith Holocron Donger deck discussion. And today's deck is a rehash of a deck that I built quite early in the new Targon expansion. But this video is primarily for a guy called Shane. And Shane is from an American podcast called The Twin Suns. And he wrote an article recently on Runeterra CCG, which is a great website. I thoroughly suggest you not only check out that website, but the Twin Suns podcast, as it is an excellent podcast. They get the designers in and developers in and all that sort of stuff, and they talk about the game in real detail, and they know their stuff. So I will put the CCG Runeterra page and link you guys to the Twin Suns podcast, which is available on all your social medias in the pinned comments, along with this Deckcode. But let's get into the reason why I did this. So I have done things like the Dragon deck and Aesol Ramp and all that sort of stuff, and Yasuo, Leona Stun, and things like this. But then I made this deck. I made the Sisterhood deck, which is Leona and Diana. And I just could not get it to work. And then I read Shane's article. And Shane's article was, what are the 5 best spells in the game given to us brand new by Riot in the new expansion? And he wanted answers in the pinned comments underneath his article. Well, I don't do that very often, and I haven't done it for this article either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this video to his Discord and go, you're right on 4 out of 5. So I have completely redone my Sisterhood deck. Added them in. Played 10 games yesterday, just in normal, because that's where I always check things out. Even Swim is playing in normal, because there are way too many tryhards. Let the Masters get back to Masters, and then we can all start climbing again. Here is my new Sisterhood deck. And it addresses the spells concerned. So, in every Donger deck discussion we start from the very top and we work our way down. Some of the cards stayed, an awful lot have been moved around. I won 7 out of the 10 games. And out of those 7, 5 of them were directly influenced by adding in these spells that Shane put in his article. So, thank you very much, sir. Here we go. We start off with Lunari Duskbringer. Now, I love synergies and decks. I love the Nightfall concept. I love the Daybreak concept. This should work pretty well. I couldn't get it to work. I have now got it to work. So the Lunari Duskbringer, when summoned for 1 mana, gives you the DUSKPETAL Dust. It's a burst spell, and the next unit you play this round costs 1 less after you drop it, which is fantastic because you drop this. That is not a Nightfall thing, and you get it. But the premise of the deck completely is lots of little cheap units that you can maybe by the turn 3 or 4 you are going to be able to put out say the Shield Bearer for 2 and then drop down the Lunari Shadestalker, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. In other words, we've now got a deck that will Daybreak and Nightfall most times, most rounds, from rounds 4 to 5, just as the mid-game happens, and that's when you really need things to get buffed up. So she is fantastic to start. So I went for the full Lunari package and the full Solari package. So night and day and night. Anyway, so she's great, and then brings out this thing. So then you could... for instance, you can take this, drop it, and put Diana out for 1. That's pretty good. And get her Nightfall thing, which is give her a challenge this round to start doing stuff. Now, putting her down on 2 as a 2-2 is a risky business. So it is. It's a very risky business. Once she gets activated, though, she's a sniper extraordinaire. And we've also got the Lenari Shadestalker, which if you give her Nightfall, she becomes elusive, which is just fantastic to be able to chip away to nearly every single time. And now we're into the spells that need to be played. And this is one of the 5 that Shane came up with. I was running 2, I'm now running 3. Give an ally +2/+1 this round. Now, if that was just all this said, that was the spell, that'd be brilliant. Gain 2 power, 1 health this round. Burst, can't be stopped. Wonderful. Now, if you play this as not your first card, but your second card, you get Nightfall on it, which means that you get to draw a card. And card draw in any card game is phenomenal. It is just way too good. This card replaces itself for 2 mana and gives you 2/1. Yep, there's an extra one in this deck for me, and it has. I mean, it's just really helpful for putting in more damage, really, to be honest. Very good at sometimes keeping you alive or taking out that tricky opponent that you really want to go. The Shield Bearer is just one of the very best 2-drop units in the game. Daybreak, it comes down onto the field of battle as a 3/6 and then reverts back to his 3/2. Beefy unit, superb in attack. If in defense, will actually probably make your opponent stop as he goes, I can't stop that, and will also die. He is superb at doing this. He is just a really, really good unit indeed. So that's all the stuff that is under 2, including our first champion, Diana. So after you've activated Nightfall 4 times, which in this deck is now even easier than it was in my original one, she gets +2 every time you Nightfall after she is rounded up and gets the challenger. 5/3 sniper. That's a pretty good little champion. Now, this is the card I think Shane should have added in to his top 5. I think Bastion is amazing. Absolutely one of the best spells given to us in the new expansion. Again, it's burst. Yes, it costs 3, but to be able to give an ally spell shield this round, your big unit is about to die. It's about to be obliterated by a slow obliterate spell that somebody has invoked from somewhere, and you need this to stay alive for the rest of the game. Nope, you're not doing that. I refuse to let you do that. I spell shield my thing, and I'm running 2 of these. I was running 3 because I think it's very good, but Pill Cascade, I agree with Shane, is too good not to run 3 of. So I dropped the Bastion down to 2, but it is still, in my opinion, one of the top 5 spells that the expansion has now given us in Targon. Crescent Guardian is a fantastic card that doesn't see an awful lot of use, but it should do. Especially if you're kind of making overwhelm decks, then Targon has got enough things in here to be able to throw it out. Nightfalling it becomes a 5/3 overwhelm for 3 mana. That is overcosted. Sorry, undercosted. It's overstated at 5/3 for 3 mana. And the fact that even if you just get it out, it's still a solid 3/3 unit. It's good at blocking. It's good at attacking. It's slightly better than a chump blocker, but if you have to, then you have to. And we all know those kind of games where it's your card draw's terrible, you can't Nightfall anything, it's just not going the way that you want it to be. It's still a decent unit to put down in 3. And here is Shane's favourite spell in the entire expansion. And I can't believe I wasn't running this. And if you read his article, he says there's an awful lot of decks running tons of these. For you to be able to silence a unit for the round, a unit is anything. Utterly confirmed from experience, from Riot themselves, it's anything. No Brom, you're not getting your first hit. You're definitely not getting your Paro. No, you will not do this. Oh, you've a Mind Splitter. Oh, well, that's not actually going to do anything this round at all because you can burst it out straight away. It's kind of good. Yet by kind of good, I mean utterly damn broken. It is such a good card. I can't believe I didn't have it in the deck previously. But the fact that it does this, it makes another one, and then makes another one, and then makes another one. So if you were continually doing this, if you had, say, 9 mana or 12 mana, you could hush everything, rush the board, and do a lot. His example was in an Ezreal deck, where you're at least targeting 4 people, or 3 people, if you've got 12 or 9 mana. Really, really decent. Really, really, really decent. I'm running 2 of them. They allow me to do it not just once, but twice. And that inclusion has made this deck an awful lot better. Now we're going into the weirder things. So we are not running the 3-cost Solari Wizard. She's not in the deck. We're not running the 3-cost Linari either. We have decided to go against that thought. And we went for 3 Zenith Blades. So grant an ally 1 power, 2 health, and an Overwhelm. That's pretty decent. And if it's Daybreak, if that's the first card you get to draw another Zenith Blade. Really good if you're also then going to Bastion later on when something comes down to like blow it out of the water. But Zenith Blade, for me, in the Daybreak package, has been one of the better ones, as it also draws you another one. So it completely replaces itself for 3 mana. That is just really good. And then we have the amazing Leona. You only need to Daybreak 4 times. You will be Daybreaking and Nightfalling 4 times in this deck quite easily. She then, every single time that you Daybreak after she has leveled, you're stunning the strongest enemy, and she is just one heck of a lady. And we also have her Morning Light spell, which gives all allies 2/2 this round. Not only that, we're also running 2 of those as well. I have found this to be majorly impactful in Daybreak decks. The fact that you can sometimes be very wide and then make everything +2/+2 is just brilliant. And then it activates all your ally Daybreak effects at once. So for instance, if you drop this after you've put out Raven, oh good God, it's fantastic. It is just literally fantastic. And Raven says it creates a Daybreak card in hand. So it's always day for us. Now, do you remember I said I love synergy? You Daybreak, you Nightfall, you Daybreak, you Nightfall, you Daybreak, you Nightfall, you Daybreak, you Nightfall. He is always going to create, when he's on board, another random Daybreak card in hand, which will then allow you to put out some sort of Nightfall units or spells later on. So Morning Light, after he's doing this, is just, that's another card, it's another stun, you're blocking half the board. Superb. But this is my favourite spell in the game. I think this is so broken, it needs fixed. It is disgraceful in every language. It needs to be at least a 7 cost, not 5, or it needs its entire wording redone. Because for 5 mana at burst speed, you can invoke a Celestial card that costs 7 or more. There are only 10 of them, and they're all really good. Like, they're all really, really good. They're either really good dragons, there are really good spells, there are things that literally just pull in things from all around the place. You are... even that would be busted for 5. But no, let's keep going. Because then you can heal an ally literally back to full health, or your Nexus 5. There is no spell in the game that is that impactful than star shaping. It will bump your Nexus up. It will give you an amazing card for later turns. It will keep your Riven or your Leona alive. Unbelievably good. And then I finish my deck off, and I mean, to be honest, right, you need to sort 3. Give them the 7, but you heal 3, just like the Kindly Tavern Keeper, something like that. But at that, you either increase this to 6, or you drop this down to 3. That's my hot fix on it. And then I finish off with 2 Infinite Mind Splitters, which I hated when it came out, even though I adore dragons. The first deck I built was dragons. And an 8/8 and pick 2 enemies, just like you did with Yone. Except with Yone, you got a 6/6, and then they were free to like do stuff. No. Pick 2 enemies in every round, start stun them. You put 1 of these down, the game's probably over. You put 2 of them down, the game is 100% over, and we are done. And every time I've dropped this, I haven't lost. So there we go. This is my new updated Sisterhood deck. I'm going to share this as per making the video, and I'll put that in the pinned comments as well. So that's what, about 15-16 minutes worth of saying to Shane, yes, most of them are right, but you missed out one. And you missed out on Bastion. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Come join us at the Dongers of Runeterra. We'll even put that in the pinned comments too. And until the next time, Dongers out.